and welcome to Hidden Gems Halloween Extravaganza. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the whole review like this. Hey guys, Hidden Gems here again, and I know you're looking at the title of this video, and it's not a hidden gem. I know I'm going outside my normal repertoire here, but I don't think that many people have probably read Dracula. I'm sure anybody watching this video has seen the movies or played video games or even, TV shows or seen Count Chocula or whatever. Everybody knows who Dracula is, but have you ever actually sat down and read the book? And that was a question that I asked myself quite a while ago. I was in, I'm going to go ahead and go with my journey to Dracula here. When I was in high school, I watched the Francis Ford Coppola movie, and before that, I had never really seen any Dracula movies. Again, I'd heard of them through, cultural osmosis and whatnot, but I'd never actually sat down and watched any of them, and I saw that, Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is supposedly the most book accurate, which, having read the book now, I'd have to agree it probably is the closest in general, but so I saw that, and I was hooked. I was enthralled. I was like, oh man, okay, I'm all in on Dracula. So I bought that copy right here. Bought this copy at Borders. If anybody wants a blast from the past there. And I got about 20 pages, 30 pages into it, and I'm like, oh man, I can't do this. The Victorian English, the formatting, just everything about it, just, oh man, it was just trying to, in high school, I was, 18, I think it was my senior year of high school. I'm like trying to read this going, oh man, I can't get through this. So, I dropped it, and I just gave up on it, pretty quickly. And then, about a year or so ago, I'm trying to think how to put this. I kind of got out of horror for a while. I would say late high school, college. I kind of stopped. I don't know. I just kind of fell out of it for a while until I started getting older again and started kind of something just. You know what it really was? I would probably say it was probably the Castlevania TV show. Again, I played some of the games, but that really brought me back into the fold, and definitely with vampires. So I grabbed this, picked it up, and read it cover to cover in probably a week, if even that. And it's amazing. You're going to have to work for it, though. That's the thing. And see, that's the thing with most, I shouldn't say people, but it's not an easy read, for sure. It is not an easy read whatsoever. You're going to have to work through Victorian English. You're going to have to work through the lettering format, which that's one of the biggest thing that drove me nuts when I read it, back in 2008 or whatever. The formatting just killed it for me. But like I said, once you get past that, and you really don't even have to get past it, I don't know what it was. I started reading it this time, and I just didn't. If you really, I guess what it is, you have to put your mind in the mindset of like a found footage movie. And even if you don't like found footage, it really is that. Honestly, this really is the first found footage thing. Really, in a way. I think other books are written in a letter format. This isn't, but in terms of horror, as in like a horror book that was written in this format, as far as I believe, this was the first. So you can thank Dracula for, if you're a found footage horror fan, you can thank it for that. I think you can thank it for horror, modern horror period. There's so much in this that is. If you're a fan of horror in any respect, you owe it to yourself to at least give it a shot. If you can't, if you don't like the writing style, if you can't handle Victorian English, I get it. At least give it a shot. But to me, you're missing out. I mean, it's interesting coming. See, I'm coming at this from probably a pretty weird perspective. See, most people are probably just going to read this as a straight up horror novel, which it is. But I'm, in a way, I kind of came at it as I'm looking at it from the nerdy side. You know, Castlevania. I grew up playing Castlevania games when I was a kid. It's almost like Neuromancer in my Neuromancer review. It's almost like, again, the pieces just all kind of fell into place, and I'm like, oh, so that's where Castlevania, got Dracula can only be resurrected every 100 years, or, that's where, and I know that's such a minor thing. I mean, there's the vampire lore in general was completely ripped from this book. Pretty much all modern vampire lore is ripped from this, aside from a few little minor things, from other things, from Nosferatu and a couple other things. All modern vampire lore comes from this, but like just the oddball little things that really got me kind of, give me those little, those little hits of dopamine there when I was, I could tell the guys that created the Castlevania games, and just any other modern vampire games, or movies or TV shows or anything, you have to read this book. Sorry, you have to read this book. I mean, it's no question. If you're a fan of any of that kind of stuff whatsoever, you have to read this. And it like I said, it wasn't easy for me. It took me, again, I think I might have picked it up one other time. I think I tried reading it back when I bought it, when I was 18, 19. I think I picked it up again maybe a couple of years later, gave up again. It took me, some time. I had to, I've read a lot of other books. I've built up, a repertoire here a little bit of different things. I have more of a you got to have some reading stamina if you're really going to sit down and read it. I mean, in short bursts, you can get, if you're fine taking 6 months to read a book, go for it, because it's just letters. It's a lot of little short bursts of reading, which doesn't necessarily bother me. And a part of that probably is due to this guy right here, Kevin J. Anderson, a guy who himself has said he's inspired by Bram Stoker. He has a very similar writing style, and I grew up reading a lot of his books. So again, that's probably why it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a short one, and don't worry, this is kind of a one-off. I'm not doing regular stuff. This is just a one-off kind of. I kind of just wanted to put this out here because I know a lot of people, especially modern media modern Castlevania fans, or just fans of modern vampires. I feel like they just don't bother with Dracula. They just think, oh, I'll just watch one of the movies, or play a video game or whatever. That you really are doing yourself a disservice. I can't think of a horror novel that hasn't at least taken some minor cues from this at all. It's next to impossible. I mean, there are some that haven't, obviously, but for the most part, if you are a fan of horror whatsoever, you owe it to yourself to read this book. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have a whole lot else to say. Look forward to more spooky reviews. I'll probably be doing more live streaming. I'm going to be doing horror. I'm going to try to do straight horror this whole month. So if any of you guys see this and you have any requests, let me know for anything, video games, books. I've got a list. I don't want to reveal it because I kind of want it to be a surprise. But don't worry, I've got great little niche. I've got a handful of really great niche books. I've got some niche video games going to play. I'm probably going to start, I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to start probably Clive Barker's, I'm going to start one of Clive Barker's games next. That's going to be my next live stream. Book-wise, I'm not going to, I'll say it's in the vein of this, but much more obscure. So, yeah, that's it. Have a great October and see you next time.